35 by 65 out of a 300 watt panel. That is very, very efficient use of space. Very small. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we are going to continue on the Subaru build. I'm pretty well done with the interior. You've seen videos on all that. But today I'm going to mount this 300 watt solar panel onto my roof racks. And so that's today's video. Now, a lot of you are just getting by and very happy with 100 or 200 watts of solar. Some of you are even, just getting it off your engine, and that's perfectly fine. I'm a pretty heavy power user. For one, I will probably be using my Starlink. So Starlink's a bit of a power hog, and so I have to have quite a bit of power for that. Second, I'm going to have a fridge. And as you know, fridges are fairly heavy power draws. And so to run a fridge, I need a little more power than most. 100 watts certainly won't do it with those two things. I don't think 200 watts will do it with both a Starlink and a fridge. And I'm going to run a microwave. You say you're going to fit a microwave in that tiny little car? Yes, I am. I like microwaves. I live in a vehicle not to punish myself or to torture myself or to be miserable. There are certain things I will not do without, and a microwave and internet and refrigeration are three of those things. And I've done the cooler thing. I've done the ice. I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm figuring 300 watts will be perfectly fine. I'll use a power station for my battery and my inverter and all of that. And so I think that's going to work super well for me. But that means I need a 300 watt panel. Now, it's a fairly small car. How am I going to fit a 300 watt panel on this roof? Not easy, believe me. I've searched and searched and searched for 300 to 400 watt panels that I could comfortably fit on the roof. And this is what I came up with. This is a BougeRV 300 watt solar panel. And actually there are two of them. I'm not sure if you've seen the video yet or not, but I've also bought a trailer. So one of the 300 watts panels will go onto the trailer and one will go onto the car. So I'll have 300 on the car, 300 on the trailer. I'll have 600 watts total. I'm going to be swimming in power. Plenty all I need. So that's why there's two panels in here. They also only sold this 300 watt panel as a kit of two. I had to buy two. The price was a little bit high, but I don't think too bad. This is $720 for two 300 watt panels. And they have a $70 off coupon when I bought this. And I thought that $650 for two 300 watt panels was pretty good, $325 each. The size, the dimensions was the all critical factor. So these are 35 inches wide by 65 inches long, and I've measured, and that's going to fit very comfortably on my roof racks. They make a 400 watt panel, and I would have gladly bought a 400 watt roof panel, but it is 10 inches wider. So it's 45 inches wide and only 3 or 4 inches longer, but that width would have hung way over, and it would have been really obvious, and I think it would have gotten beaten up. Now, how am I going to mount them? Well, I bought a 8-foot long 1x4 cedar. Cedar is extremely weather resistant, and so that's why I bought cedar. And then I didn't want it to be wood. I didn't want it to weather or be damaged, so I've got 3 coats of black paint. I thought it would blend in a lot better with my black roof rack. The car narrows down towards the front, so one is longer than the other. And let me show you basically how it'll work, and then I'll get up there and actually show you from on top. It's going to set across, hang over by just a little bit, and that's common. A lot of these roof racks extend out, and I think that's good. And so this one's going to extend out a little bit, and then the panel will be bolted on straight down into the 1x4. I think the weight will be distributed well enough that that won't be a problem with one front and rear. And then how will I attach this? I will just use simple U-bolts. So I'm going to use the U-bolt, and I'm going to show you how it will attach so you get a better visual image of it. I need a visual image, and a lot of other people do too. So the bolt just goes under. This is the way U-bolts work, and it will go through the holes that I have pre-drilled in it. So then this goes on here. So this is what came with it. This is just a standard nut, and I don't think it even came with lock washers, which is not acceptable to me. So whenever I use mostly 1/4 20 bolts, which is what this is, And so I went out and bought a box of, well, I keep them, and I was just out. This is the Nylox. It has the nylon on them. They won't just vibrate loose. This will probably get a lot of vibration and pressure, and I don't want them coming off. So I'm going to put these on here, and I don't have them right here right now. I'll get them and put them on. This is just a demonstration. And then you just tighten these down real tight. And I'll do it on all four corners. And that's it. That's how I'm going to attach it. Then I'll come around and cut this off a little bit. The 35-inch panel sits inside of this. So I'll use a bolt and bolt it down to the 1x4. And I'll show you that when I do it. So I'm going to go ahead and mount all of these, and then we'll go from there. So this is well packaged for a great big heavy product. It's 2 full pieces. You just take all the tape off, and then this pops off. And man, I've unpacked a lot of solar panels, and if you got 2 big heavy solar panels, this is the way to do it. And these are well packaged. This is really good packaging. I'm pretty impressed. This, of course, it's heavy. It's 70 pounds. Now, you might look at this and think there's something odd. There's the junction box, and here are the MC4s, but they go on the bottom. What's all this other stuff? You should just have bare aluminum metal down here. Well, it's bifacial. So that means that if you have them setting at an angle, they'll get all the sun from the front, and some of the sun will bounce off and back up, and it'll pick it up from the bottom. And from the people that I know who have bought bifacial, they say that you actually get a substantial increase in power if in the right circumstances. Now, putting them on my Subaru, I think I'm going to get virtually nothing out of the bifacial. It's solar panels on 2 sides. So to get them out, you just break this, and then they'll just lift straight off. You know, that's just nothing. And then it lifts off. And you can see that there's another one down under there, and it's separated by a piece of styrofoam as well. So the reasons I went ahead and bought the BougeRV was they were a good price, but they were so efficient that you got 300 watts out of a very small amount of space. You know, you'll see that 23% efficient, 25% efficient. The only thing that you care about that is it allows you to get a smaller panel, more power out of a smaller space, which is going to allow me to fit this thing up on my Subaru. 35 by 65 out of a 300 watt panel, that is very, very efficient use of space, very small. And so if my Subaru will take it, my guesses are that most of your, similar size, this is considered a compact SUV, small, go measure your roof and see if you can figure out how 65 by 35 will fit on your roof. But it definitely, I believe, will fit on mine. So we'll go ahead and throw it up and see what we can figure out. Okay, so we put all this on the roof, and we bolted the cross pieces on. We set the solar panel on it, moved it around, got it to exactly where we thought we wanted it to be. We marked the solar panel, and then we took both of those things off. We took the solar panel off. It's on upside down here. And we took the cross pieces off and set them on here. And the reason we're doing it from the top, well, this will be the bottom. It'll be reversed to go on to the Subaru, is because it's nearly impossible to get your hands under here with a bolt. So we drilled a hole, we set this in, we marked already, we knew exactly where we wanted it. We put L brackets in. I'm not sure if I told you about putting in L brackets, but we put them, well, when it was up, we put in L brackets. That'll make more sense when we put it up there. So that held it in place, and then we marked it here so that we knew exactly how it fit up and down. And then with this, so I drilled a hole through the wood, through the aluminum frame, and then holding underneath with the nut, the bolt went through it, and we played with it till we caught the nut. And so then there's 4 bolts with Nylox holding them on, and then there's the L brackets holding them in from the sides. And this is a sheet metal screw that goes through it. So it's all up here. It's all done. I'm just going around now and tightening the U-bolts down. and we're all finished. It's all all secure. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you on next video. See you then.